the time because the people who patronize as well as organize and throw these readings, y'all are just amazing good people, and the venues and everything, it's an oasis. And as I mentor poets back home, I remind them that you can either take the 2.5-hour drive south down 65, you can go north to Milwaukee. There's all these places that are nearby that have scenes that are almost as vibrant, you know, maybe not as big percentage-wise as Chicago. Go get seen somewhere. Go get seen somewhere where it's very easy. Go get seen somewhere where it only costs $35 round trip on Megabus. Go do some poems somewhere else other than the north side or the south side or the west side of Chicago. So thank you, and thank you all for coming and hanging and all that good stuff. There's chapbooks. They're 10 and 15. The Way of the B-Boy. I'm going to read the last piece from that. That one's 15, but if you buy all 3 of them, I will give you all 3 of them for $30. Incantation is the most recent one. The first poem I did is from this little thing called Conscious Under Pressure. This is my very first book. This is like 15 years old. Yeah, it's almost 15 years old. I have the last 40 copies. Get yours because you will not find them again probably in another, I don't know, 2 or 3 months. I mentioned I'm a b-boy, I'm a hip-hopper. I write from hip-hop. I write about hip-hop. I write for hip-hop. But understand that does not mean your average FM radio, BET, MTV, whatever bullshit. Hip-hop is a culture. Hip-hop is a culture of self-transformation, of remix and rebuild. Hip-hop is a culture of Black and Latino kids taking nothing and turning it into something. Beyond music, it is also organization that goes into being that musician, being that DJ, being that dancer. Hip-hop created several of its own art forms, and in some cases took several others and remixed them. One of them is the art and craft of painting with spray cans. There's a series of poems in this book called The Way of the B-Boy, called The Graffiti Monologues. I am Billy, I'm an art criminal. And I used to write on shit when I was a kid because I learned the power of getting the attention of adults. Does not necessarily mean that you are going to be nice to do it, but also when you're 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 years old, you have the intellectual needs. So, to the kids in the room, don't necessarily do as I've done, but don't get yourself caught if you do. To the adults, that's what it is. To the adults in my room, there's cats, I'm 48, there's cats my age and a little bit older that have been doing this art for literally 50 years. At least learn what it's about before you decide that you don't respect it.
Come on.
This poem is for the curators of the fine boxcar galleries across America, rooftop galleries across Chicago. The rookie at the Wall of Fame. They tell us we don't own these streets and tunnels.
Come on.
Not like we ever had much of anything to start with. Even with titanic talent, we are labeled vandal, misfit, sociopath. I let my name take ownership, made my neighborhood a panoramic that melted the frame, turned trains into 3D sculpture with carriages that follow passengers on and off, gymnastics that leap from sketchbooks, turning them into mixtape. Encyclopedia, scrolls traded amongst monks, style transmitted across town and over borders. These window etchers, they wouldn't know Etch-a-Sketch from Escher. I heard your neighbor whooped your ass, not for the graffiti on his garage, but because that shit sucked.
Come on.
Now you want to play with the big kids. Audacity's a given. You got a wreck shop like Christmas Eve. The only thing hot about your technique is stolen paint here. Take this sidewalk chalk, get the fuck out of my face. Battling shouldn't be on the agenda until you check the syllabus. History. Humans have obsessed over leaving their marks as cave paintings. It's how we discovered immortality. Geometry. Assessing your target on approach determines your originality and efficiency. Phys ed, you have no stories to tell if you're going to get jumped and robbed of your gear.
Yeah.
Civics, you are criminalized until you make money for society. Philosophy, you got to exist for this shit beyond ego. Most of us are just painting for the choir. You gotta step outside the sanctuary itself and take up a cause. I bombed Mandela. True story. True story. In the mid-'80s, when apartheid was still in effect in South Africa, aside from my own tag, I tagged Mandela so that people would see it and ask what it meant. I bombed Mandela because apartheid's architects weren't trying to hear freedom. I tagged MLK as a deserved cry for a holiday. It's why we paint memorial walls. It's why I climb rusty fire escapes out onto the ledge of my own id, practicing letters to arthritic perfection, massage the tension from my neck and praying upwards or twisting ankles, chasing some jerk like you, caught on over my work with dripping amateurism. Chasing fame only got me chased by the vandal squads. Heat from youngins like you only brings assault charges. All I wanted was to rewrite urban blight. You make your name for namesake, but your shit is a field trip and my method is Timothy Leary.
Come on.
I leave a trail of traces and paint fumes, fractals breaking midnight to high noon, addictive vision and the feeling that fingers are useless unless they're pressing fat caps. So wait your turn. Salute veteran days. We rule the lines one car at a time, one rooftop at a time, for hours at a time. So until you're ready to stop fighting style wars and document yourself, until you're ready to attack walls like they spit on your mother, until your fingertips bleed spray paint, forget tagging, kid. Show me that you can write. My name is Billy Tuggle. Thank you very much.